Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies and gents, we're going to pause Brian McKnight for a moment. I got something I want to talk to y'all about, but also something I want to show you. And they coincide with each other. This video right here is from the Flip Wilson show. Now, a lot of you younger cats don't know about Flip. A lot of you older cats don't know about Flip, okay? But a lot of you down-to-earth cats know about Flip Wilson. Okay, he died I believe it was in the 80s. Don't remember the date that Flip died, but very, very funny comedian. And clean, no cursing. Now, I'm going to play this episode from the Flip Wilson show, and this is an episode where he's got Red Fox. Now, I want y'all to see what's going on. Now, let me explain why I's doing this. We have a lot of people on this planet, and they all claim to believe in something. Then we have all of the people who claim not to believe in something. Everybody wants to say God doesn't exist. He does exist. Then they want to have their own version of him. Now, this is the unique thing that I found. Now, Flip Wilson's not talking about that. He's doing a skit, but I think the skit, like the person says, the funniest Flip Wilson show of all times. I only clicked on it because I was curious. That's right. And no cats died in a performance of this show. So all the cats survived. Okay. So I was curious, and so were the cats, the other cats. That's why I called you guys cats. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and what I have realized just today, the reason why you have a lot of people saying God is in your heart is because, God is the universe, or he is energy, and the energy, we can channel God. We can channel God like we can channel wicked spirits. It's because those are the people who, it's not that they don't believe. No. Those are the people who don't want to do what he has told them to do. You see, they don't want to put forth the effort. You see, I tell people, and this is my fault, because it should have been for 50 years. But for the last, look at that. Going 21 years, celibate. 21 years. A lot of people, oh no, I can't do that. And see, those are the people I'm talking about. Those are the people I'm talking about. See, those are the people who will talk about believing in God, but then will criticize the person who is doing what they're supposed to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people out there doing what they think they're supposed to do because somebody told them this is the way you do things, you know. A lot of people do things based on tradition. See, then you got those people who are now in the industry producing television shows. And what are they promoting? This disbelief that he doesn't exist, that this God they preach talking about evolution. Ladies and gentlemen, evolution does exist. There is proof of evolution, but not in everything. Everything does evolve, but not the way they are depicting it in science. That's why it's a theory, their theory of evolution, but they do know that evolution may have been used in the process of creation. There is nothing to say that that is not the case. But the thing that we all came from gobbledygook and that nobody controlled it, designed it, or orchestrated it, now that's the problem. So is there evolution? We can't say for sure. Is there not evolution? We can't say for sure. Why? Because we simply don't know. But the possibility is there that it was used in the course of creation. So what if you don't appreciate that? Those are the facts. And I can only state the facts. I've been watching a show called Scorpion. Some of you might be familiar with Scorpion. I just became familiar with Scorpion 3 days ago. Never heard of it. Well, I did see it, but I thought it was, based on the movie. And I've never seen the Scorpion King. And I never will see the Scorpion King. Okay, I never will watch that show ever. You cannot convince me to watch that show. So when I saw the word Scorpion, I associated it with that show and I just ignored it. But I watched Scorpion, the television show, and I get it. Now the show is kind of cheesy. What do you mean by cheesy? Well, it's supposed to be about this guy with 192 IQ, and they like to highlight that Einstein, I'm sorry, not Frankenstein, Einstein, had an IQ of 164 or something like that. Ladies and gentlemen, what people are not understanding, the individuals who have IQs of 160 or above, those are the individuals who are going to be the seclusionists, the isolationists. They're going to be the one-track minded individuals. It's like Einstein. Einstein could not talk to you about anything other than science. Just because you have a brilliant mind doesn't mean that you have to focus on science. But do you notice the ones that they highlight, the ones that quote unquote have these brilliant minds, these so-called geniuses, like Stephen Hawking? What did he focus on? Science. That was it. Nothing else. No other credits to his acclaim. He wasn't an inventor. Now, there are some geniuses who are inventors. I like the way they put in one of the shows on Scorpion how Benjamin Franklin, the myth is, and it is a myth, that he was flying a kite with a key at the end of it, and it got struck by lightning, and whoa, lay hold, he discovered electricity. Isn't that amazing? Ladies and gentlemen, first, that's a lie because he didn't invent the light bulb. The light bulb was already invented in Germany. Same with the automobile. Wasn't invented here in the United States. It was invented in Germany. As a matter of fact, most of your inventions, your major inventions, the things that have turned around everything, started in Germany or Europe. When I say Europe, I'm not talking about Britain. But this is what people need to know. See, the Americans took over the film industry, so they get to shape history as a way of propaganda. So people, none of this stuff really matters. I'm just pointing out the fact that a lot of people tell me I'm smart. Now, if you listen to the show Scorpion, they try to say that individuals who are with a higher IQ are individuals who are special and that everybody else are normal. Excuse me? Everybody else is normal. Well, as I tell people, before that stupid operation and that being dead on the operating table for 18 minutes and at high temperature of 126 plus degrees, I was a whole lot more than I am today. But you know something? Here is the thing about geniuses. They either use their left hemisphere or the right hemisphere of their brains. Ladies and gentlemen, I was just going over some of my videos. Let's do this. We go here. These are the YouTube videos. I just uploaded, with permission, some videos on my other site, but I did a video in the past, several, and this was the 3 episodes by the publisher, The Lonely Highway, one of my favorite of all scripts that I've written. One Man's Pain, the very first script that I completed in 1996. The moment, plus and minuses, like that one. Somebody wins, somebody dies. That's just the thing that plays in the background of the movie Nisi. Somebody wins, somebody dies, for that's the way life goes. Okay, so it was just something I created. Well, actually, I didn't create that. It was the story Nisi. This story, One Man's Pain. Well, a lot of this was real life. A lot of this was actual self-experience. This story, The Lonely Highway, then the 3 episodes, please understand these were all dreams. I just took my dreams and wrote them down and added the sideline subplots and all of that stuff to the storyline. But Nisi, that song, Somebody Wins, Somebody Dies, was playing in my dream. And I got up immediately that morning and wrote it down. It was a point, it hasn't happened for quite some time now, but it was a point that I would sleep with a pen or tablet next to my bed. Now I sleep with, and pay attention because it is necessary for you to know, now I sleep with the phone next to my bed. And if I need to jot down or write down something to remember, I record it. I wake up, record it, go back to sleep. All right, 657 videos done. Okay, 657 videos done just in this cycle. That's a lot of videos. You better believe it. All right, let's get back to this right here. The reason why I pointed that out, I'm not trying to go there. I don't even know why it went there. Oh, Cornell? Yeah, I don't even know why it went there. I'm not trying to go there. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I pointed out the stories, because there is the right hemisphere, which deals with creativity, art, that type of stuff. Then you have your left hemisphere. See, right hemisphere deals with imagination, creativity, art. Left hemisphere deals with logic. That's what you have your Stephen Hawkins, and so that's why they seem different from everybody else, because it is very unusual for a person to be able to use the right and left hemisphere. Sorry, it was the consequence caused by the stupidity of that first human known as Adam. Consequence for his stupidity that we use either side of the brain. See, we don't use our brain's full capacity. If we did, ladies and gentlemen, we would be in the stars and we would literally be able to transport ourselves from one planet to the next just by thinking. Literally. That's how powerful the brain is. They know that the brain is more powerful than anything known to man. They know that the brain has just as much information in it as the universe. They know that the brain of every single person contains the knowledge of the so-called universe. Now, hold on. Before you guys go there, don't want you to go there. The universe is not the issue. It's called a universe. It means one verse. There are other verses out there. That's why you keep hearing them talking about dimensions. Okay, we know that they've mapped out at least 6 dimensions. No, they only said 5. No, 6. Not going to name them all because there's no reason to. This is not the subject of this conversation. But the fact that there are molecules that you can't see with your naked eye shows that there is another dimension that you know about. See, we have first, second, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, like I said, 6th dimension. So the universe, the knowledge of the universe is not all the knowledge that exists, people. The universe got its start. We know that the universe started at one point. How do you know the universe started at one point? Because of the Galileo and the Hubble telescope. They took those telescopes and they found the furthest star from the Earth, the furthest star, and they realized that that was the beginning because the universe is constantly expanding. So if it had a beginning, there had to be something before that beginning. It's just simple scientific fact. However, hold on, that's on this plane of existence, this universe. The universe, there has to be a start. Why? Because everything in the universe has a beginning. Everything in the universe, this verse that we live in, has a beginning. Aha! Most people don't know this, don't think about this, but no science can contradict it because they agree with it wholeheartedly. So if everything in this universe has a beginning, because that's the way physics operates in this universe. In a different universe, what do you mean a different universe? Well, let's say if there really is a heaven, then physics would operate different in that environment. Why? Because it's a different environment. Do you guys not understand? That's the reason why we find the same elements of the periodic table in the so-called universe. Go to Pluto, go to Mars, go to Venus. Notice it's the same elements of the periodic table. There are no new elements. Well, they've gone into space and created new elements. No, those elements already existed. They didn't create those. It's just we cannot reproduce those in this universe. The Earth is its own universe. See, now you're starting to get it. The Earth is its own separate universe. Why? Because it has its own atmosphere, its own environment. It's a universe. The ocean is another universe. Do you guys understand what's going on here? Certain things that can be done above the ocean that can't be done below the ocean. Certain things that can be done below the ocean that can't be done above the ocean. Certain things can be done in outer space that can't be done in inner space. So do you understand? Each one of these different environments is a different universe. Again, people are misunderstanding. But in this context, we're referring to the universe as that entire galaxy of galaxies of galaxies of galaxies that exist in that film. What they refer to as the 475 billion galaxies, with the at least 425 billion stars in each galaxy, with the several quadrillion planets and the several hundred quadrillion stars. It's just facts. They've already done the math. They can't tell you precisely because why? Their computers are still calculating. That's how vast it is. Now, what I just explained and described was your brain. And most people don't get it. They don't get that the universe that's still expanding, your brain still expands. From the time you are a baby until the time you get to the point where you want to rock your cradle to the grave, your brain continues to expand. People think that when people get older, they lose. No, they don't lose memory. They don't lose nothing. Your memory is all still there, even with the people who get older, even with the ones who have dementia, senility, the Alzheimer's, all of those individuals, their brains are fully intact. They haven't lost anything. They just lost the ability of tapping into that information. Well, the same, each one of your brains is a universe, like the universe that surrounds us. And because your brain contains the same elements as mine or anyone else, Stephen Hawkins or any of those people, then you have the same capabilities of tapping into that same information. But for you guys thinking that the universe, all the knowledge is out there in the universe, that's not the knowledge that you're trying to seek. You should not be trying to seek that knowledge. You should be trying to better understand your thought process, your thinking process. Now, we got into that conversation because I was speaking about left hemisphere, right hemisphere. Ladies and gentlemen, those stories that I wrote, I am thoroughly impressed with them. And every time I read them, like let's say a couple of months from now, I'll read them again. I can guarantee you that I'll be impressed again because they're all new to me. Every time I reread them, they're new. Why? Because remember, I got to live the story. They were dreams. And I liked in the very first episode of the TV series, Scorpion. And like I said, Scorpion is very cheesy because a lot of the things that they depict in that show could never happen in real life. But, it's a television show. But anyway, I liked the way he asked the young kid, do you ever pause your dreams? Then he asked him, do you ever rewind them? Then he said, and do you ever restart them? And the kid agreed, and he said, me too. Ladies and gentlemen, I have paused a dream. I haven't rewind a dream because there was never a reason for me to. Okay, I used to have the dream of being in a car and driving up a hill and the hill getting steeper and steeper to the point where it was perpendicular. And just before I fall, I wake up. I used to have that dream all the time. And guess what? I told myself to stop. So I no longer have that dream. That used to be a reoccurring dream at least maybe 5 times a year. No more. No more. I don't allow it to happen anymore. I literally told my brain, no more, stop. I like that. I like the ability of being able to know I'm dreaming and being able to stop the dream. But when I'm having the dreams that are actual movies, and literally, the stories I write are actual movies. I'm actually watching the movie. And I wake up and I only highlight the main scenes and I create the other characters, give them names, give them personalities. In all of the stories I write, each of my characters have personalities. I don't just create a character just to be creating a character, because the audience must be able to understand the character. That's logical and imagination. Right side, left side. That's just a small sample. Those other individuals, and I'm not comparing myself to anyone, they did not have that ability. Stephen Hopkins had no imagination. Go back and listen to him. He was straight to the point, about the point, and that's all he talked about. Now, I'm not taking away from the credit that he deserves, because he was smarter than the average bear. Einstein. Look, Einstein was unique in so many ways. But I say that because we're having a lot of shows debating whether or not there is a God. And then you get all of these people who are saying that they're geniuses, and they're the ones speaking out, and everybody's going off of what they say. Ladies and gentlemen, these logical people who are telling you that certain things are illogical, the stupid things that they're highlighting and saying is illogical. It doesn't make any sense. For instance, I used to do pest control. The pests I went after were usually a lot smaller than me. Many of them, you couldn't see what their face looked like without a magnifying glass or a microscope. However, I could control them. I could dictate where they go, when they went, how they went, why they went. Well, then why couldn't there be somebody whom we are as small as those insects? And it dictates and controls where we go, how we go, when we go. And nobody wants to take that into consideration. But I believe in God is what they'll tell you. But they don't do what he says. Sorry. According to the truth, faith follows the things heard. So if a person believed, they would be doing what they were told. Well, yes, you do have to do what you're told. Yes, you do. If you're going to claim you believe in God, then it means you must obey. See, that's what belief requires, because belief is faith. Pay attention. Belief is faith. Belief is an ism. Okay? So belief requires obedience. It requires faith. And all the people who are claiming they have it don't got it. I had somebody email me. I did a video and I pointed out how someone was asking me, because I showed people how to edit a form. And in the video, I highlight the fact that I can't show you this, but this is PDF exchange at the bottom. I can't show that to you because that's someone else's personal information. However, what I can tell you is in the video, I told people that I'm using PDF exchange editor professional. And I've even told people in the past how to download it. Well, somebody sent me a personal email complaining that they have converted it to Word. Pay attention, converted it to Word, where I never spoke of converting anything to Word, and they can't edit the document the way I did. So I wrote the person back and I said, do you see me using Word? Do you see me saying anything about converting it to Word? I specifically said I was using PDF Exchange. And by the way, I'm not here to do your troubleshooting and or your technical support for whatever it is you're working on, because that's not what I signed up for. So I did a video explaining that and highlighting that. And this idiot, and I got to say this because the person was an idiot. They wrote me an email, and they were telling me at the beginning of the email, and I promise you, the person said, I forgot the title of it, was something about one of my videos. And they commented, the fact that you say you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses and you did that, blah, and I immediately deleted it. Well, I did it for two reasons. Well, because I made a promise to all of you that if you idiots are going to email me about my videos and critique it, that I will block you and I will delete it. Well, that idiot been blocked and deleted. I got to keep my word because the comments are turned off on my videos on purpose. You don't get to email me to comment on my videos because I've taken away that ability. See, this is my world. I control it. Now, if you want to be outside my world, you can do whatever you want. But when you come into my world, when you invite yourself into my house by emailing me, then I'm not going to put you on Front Street. I'm just going to delete your junk and block you. You can be mad, you can be happy, you can be sad, you can be coy, you can be bi, you can be gay, you can be this, you can be that. I don't give up what you are. But what you will not do, what you will not be allowed to do, is to think you're going to get your point across. Because that's all. I want to have my say. You spoke for 45 minutes and had your say. I should be able to have my say too. So I'm going to do whatever I want. That's what people are doing. They're doing whatever they want. Told them, hey guys, don't email me. Don't call me. I got too much going on right now. I got the system getting ready to come after me. That's right. You heard me. Getting ready to come after me. Why? Because I told you. The information that I was putting up, especially when I put up the information since July 21st of last year, that they were going to come my way. Well, they're coming. And I'm okay. Now, when it happens, whoo, doggy, everybody and their grandmama going to have something to say. And you know something? I don't care. Okay? That's just the way people are. People are funny that way. And those people, well, look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't wish bad on anybody. I just wish that those people get exactly what they deserve. Because they're going to say, he got exactly what he deserved. Okay. Yep, sure did. They keep telling me not to help you guys. Yes, they give me all kind of subliminal messages, like sending me a message through someone else telling me that they were investigating me. For what? What could you possibly be investigating me? I don't have a life. Don't go nowhere. I don't do anything. So what could you possibly be investigating? Really? So you don't know either, huh? The person actually said that they didn't even know why they were calling the person and told them that they'd call them back. Didn't even know, but called the person and told them they were doing an investigation. Didn't even know the reason for it, but told them that's what they were doing. And apparently this was the investigator. I don't know why I was sent this file. I'm going to have to call you back. Amazing, ain't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, before it happened, I told you it was going to happen, and that's okay. So when it does happen, there'll be a lot of people out there like Heather Giraffe, Mrs. Heather Tootsie. A lot of people think that she did something wrong. They made it out to look like she did something wrong, like she did something she didn't have the right to do. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather didn't do anything wrong. What you don't realize is that they didn't allow her to produce any evidence or information proving her point, proving the existence of that account. Why would they not allow her to do that in front of the jury? That's what the case was about. It was about her intent. Well, what happens with people like her and me? They stack the jury. Yes, they put their own people in the jury, and then what the next thing they do after they stack the jury, oh, doggy, is they block the person from bringing forth any evidence, any information. They just did that to a young man here in California. Okay, even threatening his witnesses. You get up there and testify, and we're going to arrest you because you have this or you have that, or we believe this or we believe that. The day that they were supposed to testify, they sent somebody out to talk to the witnesses, telling them that if they got up there to testify, they could face possible arrest. That's witness tampering, ladies and gentlemen. And he brought it before the court because he called me up and explained it to me. Yeah, that's why they're coming my way, because I was helping that person and they knew it. Okay? But anyway, he explained to me, so I told him, I said, no, you call that idiot as a witness, the one who, and they knew the name of the idiot who came and talked to the people. I told him, and you ask him understand why he decided to come and talk to your witnesses that day. Why did he talk to them a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago? Because the case had been going on for a while. Judge wouldn't allow it. Judge decided it wasn't important. Witness tampering is an important issue. not giving him an opportunity to speak? Well, he's got the appeal issues. He's got several things that I was able to give and bring to his attention. He would have been better off, but he didn't tell me everything, all of the issues going on in the case. I only knew about maybe 2 incidents, not all of the incidents. Because I didn't know about all the incidents, I could not give him counsel on everything. I could only give him counsel on the things that he was telling me. Well, guess what? Everything that he told me that I counseled him on, not guilty. The jury didn't even consider it, said, nope, doesn't apply. All the stuff that he did not tell me about, did not go into detail about, that's the stuff that, okay. But he still didn't get an opportunity to produce his witnesses. He still didn't get an opportunity at a so-called speedy trial. California, speedy trial rights is 6 months. They went 13 months. Twice as long plus 30 days. Oh well, California. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I want you to listen to this skit by Flip Wilson. And again, he's talking about not religion. He's doing a joke about churches, but I want you to pay attention, okay? 1 second.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Truly wonderful. Gentlemen. Friends, I have a very important announcement to make this evening. Since it's not a part of my sermon, I'd appreciate it if you listen.
Yes.
What's going on, friends, is we've come to that time of the year when I must leave town for a while.
Yes.
Yes. In the words of Ray Charles, I'm going to hit the road, Jack. It's time for what we call my annual pilgrimage to that great and wonderful city, our Mecca, Detroit. Yes, I'm going to Detroit. Can I have an amen for the Mecca of Detroit?
Amen for the Mecca of Detroit.
Yes. Now I should be gone for 2 weeks. The last 12 days of which will be spent in Las Vegas, Nevada. Can I get an amen for Las Vegas?
Amen for Las Vegas.
I can tell you all been there. Now, many of you may ask, why is Reverend Leroy going to Las Vegas? Probably asking each other. Probably nobody out there got the nerve to walk up to me and ask, why am I going? But I'm going to tell you anyway. I want you to know. I'm going to Las Vegas because there's sin there. That's right, there's sin in Las Vegas, and I'm going to put a stop to it. If I can't stop it, at least I'm going to slow it down. Sin runs rampant in Las Vegas. I don't care how fast it runs, I'm going to keep up with it. Keep up with it. I'll be wearing my tennis shoes. Sin can't outrun me. And let me tell you what else I've done. I've gone to the extent of reserving a room on the 14th floor of the biggest hotel in Las Vegas.
Excuse me. He said he's going to reserve a room on the 14th floor of the biggest hotel in Las Vegas. And I thought that was unique, that he spoke about reserving a room on the 14th floor of the biggest hotel in Las Vegas. Interesting.
Now that room is to meditate in. That's what we're going to be doing in the room, meditate. Now, you know why? Because, friends, there are many fallen women in Las Vegas. I'm going to pick them up.
Now take a look at them pants and them boots that he's wearing. And of course that's on purpose, but that right there, everybody else has got their little pant legs, right. But he's sitting up here flooding like there is a hurricane season going on. Hold on, Flip.
I'm going to put them back on their feet. I'm going to tell those feet to climb. Climb on up. To the 14th floor. Where we will meditate together. Can I get an amen for meditating together?
Amen for meditating together.
Now, friends, I don't want you all to think that for the 2 weeks I'll be gone, that I would leave you in a lurch at the church. No. Let me tell you what I've done. I have obtained the services of one of the finest guest preachers it is my privilege to know. A man who was so concerned with the word that he got himself arrested so he could spread the word in jail. In fact, the night they were planning the big prison break, it was he who spread the word. Yes. Now, at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce your new main man for the next 2 weeks.
Because he's gone on vacation, he has to get a standby person. And look who he got.
My very dear friend and colleague, Reverend Pussyfoot Johnson.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, White Red Fox was always wearing a gray vest underneath a black suit. I have no idea, but that seems to have been what he would do, and I believe it was part of his comedy routine. But hold on, Red.
Very glad to see you.
You too, Reverend.
Thank you.
And thank you, Reverend Leroy. And thank you, brothers and deacons.
They like you. They like you.
I would like to discuss a matter with you, though, that's near and dear to my heart.
Certainly. Well, what is it, brother? Excuse me a second, y'all. What is it?
My salary.
See, your salary should be derived from the generous contributions of my congregation. That's right.
Well, I heard about this congregation when you started this church. You said the poor were welcome, and I hear they've been showing up.
Well, I'll get to work on it, okay?
All right.
Friends, it appears that on the road to truth and honesty, we've encountered a detour. It's a roadblock here. It's a financial roadblock. Now, my friend, Reverend Pussyfoot, has accused y'all of not being generous. He said y'all fast on the lip and tight on the hip. He said that ain't gonna make it. Now, to help pay the cost of our guest preacher and to defray part of the cost of my impending trip, the deacons will now pass among you with the collection plate. You're going on out there. Lock the door, don't nobody leave. Now, at this time, friends, I want to ask you to dig deep into your hearts. Dig deep into your heart. Deep. Go on down into your heart. And deeper still into your wallet. Because the word for today is give. G-I-V-E. Give. Now think about that word. Think about that word, give. That's a very important word. Everybody loves the cheerful giver. Sometimes it's even worth a little struggle. Now, give. Give is a word that helps us weave through life the way a car weaves through traffic. Then I have an amen for traffic. Amen for the traffic. Reverend Pussyfoot, would you care to elucidate further for the congregation?
With pleasure.
Yes.
Brothers and sisters, G is for gas.
Yes, it is.
Gas is energy.
Yes.
Gas is get up and go.
Yes, well spoken, brother, well spoken. And when you want to get someplace in a hurry, you step on the gas. That's what you do. Doesn't make any difference whether you're using premium, regular, or low lead. In fact, and if you're really in a hurry, you should get all the lead out.
Now, some of you guys don't get what he said, and that's because you ain't from the time. Right about this was the 70s when this was being done. And prior to this, they were using regular gas, and they were talking about the impact that lead had on the environment. So now you started having unleaded gasoline come out. So you could buy regular gasoline and unleaded gasoline. As you notice, you don't see any more regular gasoline anymore. You see medium, premium, and regular. Regular is still unleaded. All the gasoline today is unleaded in America. In other countries, they still use lead in gasoline. For what reason? I don't know. The damage it causes to the environment. So that's why it talks about getting the lead out. It's a play on words.
Come to the letter I. I stands for ignition.
It sure does.
You got to turn on your ignition when you want to start the motor.
Now, friends, we come to V. Very important letter, the letter V. A lot of times we pass right by the V. V is a very important letter. V stands for velocity. V is for very fast. V is for
Vroom, vroom.
Right. That's what we want you to do here tonight. We want some vroom, vroom.
Yeah,
Just
right.
vroom, vroom on down in your pocket and give it up.
Yeah.
Give it up. Tell them about it, brother.
Give it up. Don't shilly-shally.
Don't shilly-shally.
Don't drag your feet.
Don't drag your feet.
Don't let your motor idle.
That's right. Don't let the motor idle. Because remember, the devil makes work for idle motors.
And finally, we come to the letter E.
Extra.
E is for the engine.
Yes, it is.
The engine is the heart.
Yes, it is. And you cannot drive your car with a cold engine. You can't live your life with a cold heart.
No.
You gotta heat your heart up. Hey, tell them about it.
So just pretend you're in a gas station. Take out your credit card.
Hold it up. We don't take credit cards.
A lot of fake credit card things going on in the 70s. So when you hear him say we don't take credit cards, it's because a lot of people are being scammed on credit cards. See, credit card scams, credit card fraud was going on from the very beginning. So a lot of companies, a lot of places did not accept credit cards. And if any of you were around in that time, in the early 80s especially, when you tried to use a credit card, and when they came out with the debit card, when you tried to use even a debit card, most places would cause you a lot of problems using that, especially if you were a person of color. So, inside joke again.
We don't do that.
Your credit card is filled with good deeds.
Yes, good deeds. And the goodest deed of all is to give. To give to the cause of your choice. The church of what's happening now. Now let's hear the word again. Give. G-I-V-E. Give. Woo! I almost felt like putting something in myself. Yes. Okay, now let's add the money. Let's see how we're doing out there with the plate. Yeah, I'm expecting a biggie here. I was expecting a biggie here. You did go out there, did you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, at least they sent the basket back. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Come on, let's give it up. Hit it.
I thought this was hilarious.
Did you check the socks? Everything. Well, look, y'all take them baskets right back out there. You understand? What's it for you cool in a minute? Let me talk to
Now,
you people.
this to me is the most hilarious out of the whole skit.
Peoples,
Yes.
brothers,
Yes.
sisters,
Yes.
visiting friends. I was inclined to believe that my sermon would have reached your heart. That it would have made you want to open up. But y'all didn't go for it. It's obvious that your heart is as cold as a well digger's heart.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't giving up nothing.
Yeah.
Y'all want to just go around and keep ripping off.
That's right. That's
You
right.
gotta put something back in the pot.
Yeah.
You can't just eat all the meat and the carrots.
Yeah.
You gotta eat up some of them potatoes too.
Yeah.
Now let me tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna try it again. I didn't want to have to resort to this because I had considered it dirty pool. But you gotta fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
And dirt with dirt.
Yeah.
And drown water with water.
Yes.
Now, there's a brother in the congregation who's been fooling around with another brother's wife. Yeah, he's out there. I know who he is.
Yeah.
I've seen his face.
Yeah.
I've seen her face too.
Yeah.
She's happy too. Now, if in the next 30 seconds, this particular brother does not make a sizable donation in the plate, I ain't talking about no light chump
Notice how much he's going to suggest the person put in.
change.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some money.
Yeah.
Long bread.
Yeah.
Heavy duty scratch. I'm talking about in the area of a $20 bill.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, pay attention to the $20 bill. That's important. It's an important part of the skit, and a lot of people will miss it. Hold on.
20s.
Yes.
Now, if he don't put a 20 in that plate, I'm going to announce his name from the pulpit.
Yes.
I'm going to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's a lot of 20s, ain't it? That's a $20 from every male in the congregation. Okay, that's what that's about. Like I said, hilarious. That's Flip Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. All right, then I'm going to leave you with something. I was listening to a comedian, and this comedian, when I saw his first show, he was all right. But the second show, he actually started cursing, and he's a British comedian. His name is, you know what, Chris something. Well, Chris is, yeah, he's a character. He had a joke. He actually had three jokes, but I'm going to tell you just two. And they're simple one-liner jokes. And then there's another guy. His last name is Miller. But for Chris said this, and I'm not saying Chris Miller, okay? Two different people. Miller and Chris are two different people. Anyway, Chris said, I'm a friend of every letter of the alphabet except Y. Nope. See, I just told that joke backwards, and I wish I could take it back because that's the problem. I was thinking about the joke, but he says, I'm a friend of 25 letters of the alphabet, but I don't know why. Okay, so I told the punchline at the end as opposed to telling the joke at the beginning. So he says, I'm a friend of every letter of the alphabet, but I don't know why. Or 25 letters of the alphabet, but I don't know why. Okay, so that was one. Sorry, wish I could have told it better. I'll do better this time. The guy Miller told this joke. He says, you know, why is it that Frisbees always seem to get larger the closer you get to them? He says, and then it hit me. And literally, I could not stop myself from laughing at that because it was so stupid that it was funny because you had to imagine the joke. Now, here's the last one. This is Chris. He says, my brother asked me if I could be any superpower, which one would I be? Or if I could have any superpower, which one would I choose? And he said, Cold War Russia. And if you're around from the 70s, you remember the Cold War. So he said, Cold War Russia. And I thought that the punniness of his joke was all right. Again, not from me, but from him. See, I'm corny on my own. I have my own jokes. I have my own funniness. But I listen to people like Flip, who was very clean. This was his show, and his show's very clean. You notice he didn't get vulgar or anything. He used a lot of puns and associations, and he used a lot of movement. And I like the comedians who use movement when they're explaining a joke. Got one more for you. This is from Michael Collier, and then I'm going to go. And this one, I'm going to tell the joke. All right. Man wakes up, and he realizes all he got is a head. No body, no nothing, just a head. So he goes out and he meets this woman, and he asks her, will you marry me? And she says, no, you're just a head. You don't even have a body. So he gets disappointed. He rolls himself back home, goes into the medicine cabinet, thinking about committing suicide, pulls out this bottle, drinks the bottle, and passes out. But he doesn't die. He still is alive. He wakes up, but now he has a torso. So he's got a torso and a head. He goes back, meets the very same woman, asks her, will you marry me now? She says, you're just a head and a torso. You don't have any arms or any legs. Disappointed again. He goes home, climbs up into the medicine cabinet, pulls out that bottle again, drinks from it, wanting to commit suicide, doesn't. Wakes up the very next day. Now he has arms, legs. So he goes back, hobbling over to where the woman is, meets the woman, says, will you marry me now? Now I have arms and legs, and so here I am. She says, no, you're a cripple. I could never marry a cripple. So he hobbles back home, goes back to the medicine cabinet, and drinks from the same bottle and dies. What's the moral of the story? Quit while you're ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of this show. Have a very good day, and I'm glad I was able to bring this your way. Goodbye.